Mom put Grandma in tons of debt, so Grandma tricked me and used me to report Mom to CPS as payback. I found Grandma crying in the attic, surrounded by stacks of unpaid bills, her trembling hands clutching a foreclosure notice like it was a death sentence. At 16, I thought I'd seen her at her worst when she lost Grandpa, when the arthritis got so bad she couldn't knit anymore. But this was different. Her sobs weren't just grief. They were rage, sharp and jagged, aimed at my mother. I'd always known Mom was a mess. She'd breeze into our lives like a hurricane, leaving chaos in her wake, empty promises, half-finished projects, and a trail of credit card debt she swore she'd pay off next month. Grandma raised me, not Mom. She was the one who bandaged my knees, taught me to read, and made sure I had a roof over my head. But Mom had a way of slithering back, charming Grandma into handing over her savings for business ventures that never panned out. This time, though, Mom had gone too far. She'd forged Grandma's signature, racked up $50,000 in debt, and left us on the brink of losing the only home I'd ever known. I knelt beside Grandma, my heart pounding. "We'll fix this," I said, though I had no idea how. Her eyes, usually warm like hot cocoa, were cold, calculating. "Oh, we will. Ellie," she said, her voice low, "but your mother needs to learn a lesson." I didn't know what she meant, but the way she said it sent a chill down my spine. The next morning, Grandma was different, sharper, like she'd shed her soft edges overnight. She handed me a cup of tea and said, "Ellie, you love me, don't you?" I nodded, confused. "Then you'll help me. Your mom's been neglecting you, leaving you here, not providing. I need you to tell someone." She slid a piece of paper across the table with a phone number and the words Child Protective Services scrawled in her spidery handwriting. I stared at it, my stomach twisting. "You want me to report Mom?" My voice cracked. Mom was a disaster. Sure, but she was still my mom. I remembered the rare good days, her laughing as we made pancakes, her singing off-key to old rock songs. But Grandma's face was unyielding. "She's hurt us both. Ellie, she's hurt you. Tell them she's unfit. Tell them you're not safe." I didn't want to do it, but Grandma kept talking, her words weaving a net around me. She told me about the house, how it was her parents', how Mom's greed was stealing my future. She said CPS would just talk to Mom, make her take responsibility. "It's for us," she said, squeezing my hand. "For our family." I was 16, scared, and I trusted her. So I made the call. The woman on the phone was kind but clinical. I stumbled through the story Grandma had coached me on Mom's absences. Her drinking, how she left me without food sometimes. Most of it was true, stretched just enough to sound dire. When I hung up, my hands were shaking. Grandma hugged me, whispering, "You did the right thing," but I felt like I'd swallowed glass. Days later, CPS showed up. Mom was home for once, sprawled on the couch with a wine glass, oblivious. The social worker's questions were sharp, and Mom's answers were slurred. I watched from the stairs, my heart hammering as they took notes, their faces grim. Grandma stood behind me, her hand on my shoulder, steady as a rock. "It's okay," she whispered. "This is justice." But it didn't feel like justice. It felt like betrayal. Mom was taken away for questioning, and I overheard the social worker mention temporary foster care for me. Panic clawed at my chest. "Grandma, what's happening?" I asked. Turning to her, her face was calm, too calm. "They'll sort it out. Ellie, your mom needs help." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the call, the lies I'd told, the truth I'd twisted. I crept downstairs and found Grandma at the kitchen table, sorting through papers. Among them was a letter from a lawyer, talking about debt recovery and legal action against Mom. My stomach dropped. This wasn't just about teaching Mom a lesson. Grandma had used me to get revenge. I confronted her the next morning. "You tricked me," I said, my voice trembling. "You made me think this was about protecting me, but it's about your money." Grandma didn't flinch. She deserved it. Ellie, she said, her voice hard. She's been bleeding me dry for years. I did what I had to do to save this house for you. But her words felt hollow. I saw the guilt flicker in her eyes, the way she wouldn't meet my gaze. The weeks that followed were a blur. Mom was released, but CPS was still investigating. She moved into a cheap motel, swearing she'd fight to get me back. I stayed with Grandma, but the house felt like a prison. Every creak of the floorboards reminded me of the secrets we were keeping. I started digging through Grandma's papers when she was asleep, piecing together the truth. Mom's debts were real, but Grandma had known about them for months. She'd waited, planned, and used me as her weapon. One night, I found a letter Mom had written to Grandma, begging for forgiveness. "I'm trying, Ma," it said. "I know I've messed up, but I love Ellie. Don't take her from me." My throat tightened. Mom wasn't perfect, but she was trying in her own broken way. And Grandma, she turned me into a pawn in her vendetta. I confronted Grandma again, this time with the letter in my hand. "How could you?" I shouted. "You made me think I was saving us, but you just wanted to hurt her for the first time." Grandma's facade cracked. Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she whispered. I was so angry. Ellie, she took everything from me, my savings, my peace. I thought this would fix it. She reached for me, but I pulled away. I called CPS again, this time to tell the truth. I told them Mom wasn't perfect, but she wasn't a monster. I told them about Grandma's plan, how she'd manipulated me. The social worker listened, her voice gentle but firm. "We'll look into it," she said. "But Ellie, you need to think about what's best for you." What was best for me, I didn't know anymore. Mom came to see me a week later, sober and shaken. She hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. "I'm sorry, kid," she said. "I'm gonna do better." For the first time, I believed her. Grandma, meanwhile, retreated into silence. The house was still ours, but it felt empty, haunted by the choices we'd all made. In the end, CPS closed the case. Mom got a job, started therapy, and rented a small apartment. I moved in with her, leaving Grandma alone in the house she'd fought so hard to keep. I visit her sometimes, but it's not the same. She tries to apologize, but her words feel like echoes of a trust we can't rebuild. Mom's trying, but she's still Mom messy, flawed, human. And me, I'm learning to forgive them both. But it's a slow, painful road. Family is supposed to be about love, but ours was built on lies, debt, and revenge. I keep asking myself, was Grandma wrong to fight back? Was Mom wrong to spiral? Was I wrong to trust either of them? I don't have answers, but I'm trying to find them. What do you think, who was right and who was wrong? Share your thoughts. I could use some perspective. In